It's another Raw video from your favorite YouTube Scout Draft Raw Authentic. Yes, I am finally here making another video, and like I said, it's a Raw with Zoe. There will be no edits. Now, bear with me, people. I have a little bit of a cold. I am going on a run right now where I'm going to be putting out a bunch of videos for predictions for the rookies of the 2018 season, and more of just the rookies that we know are going to be starters week one. Guys that we definitely know are going to be starters week one. And if you can tell by the title of this video, this is for the running backs. So let's just get into it. And with the running backs, I know not all guys are going to start, but they are going to still be able to put up some stats. So we're just going to get into that. With the first player to be named is the one player that is considered the top running back in this draft class. He's not my top running back, and actually, I don't like him as much. I have a video out there that talks about Saquon Barkley, and while I'm not his hugest fan, I will put it in the description link. But I will put a link in the description below. Please check out that video. It's one of the first videos I made. And it's literally going into detail why I'm not the biggest fan of him. So, but anyway, skip all of that. Let's just get into Saquon Barkley and what I think he will do in the 2018 season for the New York Giants. Obviously, he is the starter. So let's just put that out there. I think that he's actually going to do pretty well, actually. Even though I'm not his biggest fan, I think he's going to do pretty well. The reason why I think he's going to do pretty well is because of his natural ability as being a three-down back. And then one of his biggest assets is being a home run hitter. He's one of those guys that will run with the football. You can give it to him about 10 times, and he'll get like 9 or 10 yards. Then all of a sudden, that 11th time, he's taking it 60 yards to the house. So you look at that situation, and it's just like all of a sudden now he's averaging 6 yards per carry. So his numbers will look way better than what they actually are. But that's what type of running back he is, and that's why I think he's going to have a pretty solid season. I think he will have over 1,000 yards just because he's going to be the starter. I think that all scrimmage yard he's probably actually going to have over 1,500 yards, scrimmage yards. I think that they're going to use him in catching the football a lot. They may use him as a return man and kick returning. I would definitely, running the ball, everything. But I think that he's going to put up some actually huge numbers. I don't think he's going to break any rookie records as a rusher, but I think he's going to put up some big numbers as a running back. I'll predict about 1,400 scrimmage yards. I'll say over 1,000, no, 1,500. I'll say over 1,000, over 1,000 rushing yards and over 500 receiving yards. So it'll be over 1,500. I think that he's gonna have some situations where he's gonna do some kick return. I don't think it's gonna really play into anything as much, but he's going to at least get the opportunity and a chance to do so. I think that he's definitely had a chance to be one of the more explosive rookie backs in this draft class, obviously. But there's other things that he needs to work on. And what I said earlier about Saquon Barkley, like I said, the link will be in the description. You can please watch that video. But there's a reason I'm not his biggest fan, but I will give him respect in terms of I do believe he's going to make a lot of home run hits, and he's going to possibly be a big time player when it comes to that. So with Saquon Barkley, that's my prediction when it comes to him. No, I do not think he's going to be rookie of the year. I actually going to give that to somebody else, and it won't be a running back. Who will it be? So anyway, going further into the running backs of this draft class, I'm going to skip Sony Michel because I believe he's hurt. So I'm going to go to Kerryon Johnson. I believe he plays for the Detroit Lions. I'm not sure if he's a starter or not. I probably should have checked that before I made this video. But with Kerryon Johnson, if he's sharing the carries, if he's sharing the load, I think that he's definitely going to get over 600 yards, probably 700 yards. He's going to have that LeGarrette Blount type of role as a running back. I'm not his biggest fan as well when it comes to him. Is he really a true number one running back? But I will say this. I think that he is good enough to be able to be a number one running back in this league. He is a talented, tough power back type of dude. There's not a lot of big questions about him. But I would say this: I think that he could be the surprise running back to have big yardage, but at the same time, I think that he's going to be a split the carries type of running back. And so I see with Kerryon Johnson just an overall just solid season, but nothing great, nothing that's going to really be like, oh wow, this dude is the next, yada yada yada. I think that he's just going to have a good solid season. Then going a little bit lower, Ronald Jones II. I believe eventually he actually will be a starter, and I think that overall he will probably be the best rookie running back this year behind Saquon Barkley in terms of numbers. I think that what he can do, I believe he's going to actually lead all rookies in rushing yards, not scrimmage yards, but rushing yards. I think he's going to have big numbers there. At least about 1,300 yards, maybe 1,400. Well, I'll say about 1,300. But like I said, I don't think he's going to, get the scrimmage yard, about 12 to 1,300. But I think that he's going to be a big-time player for the Tampa Bay Bucks, especially the situation that they won't have Jameis Winston for like the first, 2 or 4 games of the season. I forgot how long his suspension is, but they won't have him for a while. They need to rely on the running game, and I think that when Jameis Winston comes back in, still they got to rely on that running game. They're going to still rely on that because they need to be able to feed their weapons like Mike Evans and the O.J. Howards and the Cameron Brates and the Chris Godwins. It's a good plethora of weapons there, but I think that they're a team that will stick with the running game, especially with the head coach that they do have. Now we're going over to Nick Chubb, Georgia running back. He plays for the Cleveland Browns. I think Cleveland is definitely going to work on their running backs a lot, but I believe Carlos Hyde is going to get a lot more of the carries than any other running backs for Cleveland. So Nick Chubb, I think that he's going to be similar to Kerryon Johnson, where it's going to be solid, but it's not going to be something that's going to be spectacular. But I just believe in his rookie season, he's just going to have a solid rookie season. Nothing really spectacular. I would say at least about 500 yards when it comes to him. Like I said, because I don't think he's going to be a starting back. So even though I think he has starting back qualities, and he is my favorite running back, and I think he's the best running back in this draft class, I just believe his rookie season, it's not going to be as great as you would want it to be. Then moving down a little bit further, Royce Freeman will be the starter for the Denver Broncos. I think that obviously with that situation, I do believe he'll have over 1,000 yards, or at least 900 to about 1,000 yards. I think that he's not going to have as great of a season as they actually predicting the Denver Broncos are predicting him to have. There's certain stuff when it comes to Royce Freeman that I'm not the hugest fan of. I think that he needs to play with a little bit more power, especially with the size that he has, and I think that will probably hurt him in the long run. I think that he's not an explosive type of runner. I think that he can still make, big plays, but I don't think he's someone that you'll see like a Saquon Barkley that just cut on the dime and just take it up the field and be able to cut one more time and just really blow past guys. He's not that type of running back, so those explosive runs you're not going to see as many times when it comes to a guy like him. I think that he's definitely going to, just like I said, going to be a solid running back, but I don't think he's going to be like all pro, but I do think that he has that chance to break 1,000 yards as a rookie, so I'll at least give him credit for that. Rashad Penny, I think the situation is that he's not going to be a starter. He's going to share carries, and I think he's hurt a little bit. I think that if he does get a chance to actually play, I believe scrimmage yards, he will have over 1,000 scrimmage yards, putting both receiving, running, and return ability. I think they're going to use him in that situation, in that role, to give him everything and the plethora of stuff that he could do to really make plays for the Seattle Seahawks. So Rashad Penny, I think he's going to break 1,000 yards, but he's not going to break, a certain mark when it comes to rushing, receiving, and kick return. I think it's just going to all be collectively solid, average, good numbers. And then you have John Kelly. A situation with John Kelly is that he's definitely the backup for the St. Louis or the Los Angeles Rams. When it came to running backs, he was my guy that I felt was the underrated running back in this draft class. And honestly, besides Nick Chubb, he is my most favorite running back. I did get to see him a little firsthand when I went to the Ravens game when they played the Rams here in Baltimore. I'ma just say this. Yeah, the dude can play. I saw him next week. I forgot who he played. It may have been the Oakland Raiders or something like that. And once again, he made big plays in that match. you know, the commentators was always talking about it, the power, the speed, and everything that he had with that situation. So I think that when it comes to a guy like a John Kelly, he's going to make the most of his situation. He's not going to break over 1,000 yards, but he's going to have that good number 2 running back solid yards. I think we're going to look between 500 to 700 yards. I think total scrimmage yards, we're looking at the 800 to 900 yards. I think he's just going to miss 1,000, but he's going to prove enough to being a really good running back. And if there's, God forbid, a chance that Todd Gurley gets hurt or whatever happens, this is a guy that can take over, and then I think he will definitely get 1,000 yards as a running back, and actually may have more yards than any of the rookies if something was to happen early or something like that, and then, you know, he just explodes on the scene. But John Kelly is a beast of a running back. So anyway, that was my, this is the predictions for the running backs. Obviously, I didn't go over all the running backs because I don't think all of these guys will start, but I do think that all these guys have a chance to be really good players in the NFL, especially for the 2018 season. If you like this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more content from me, Draft Raw Authentic, please subscribe. Please share this video so other people can see it. And please comment if you didn't like what I have to say or you think I missed something. You can comment so we can debate and we can build the draft community. Once again, this is Draft Raw Authentic. I thank you for watching. Next video is coming up. It's 2 more wide receivers, tight end. Goodbye.